Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays to show you in the Tier 7 German medium premium tank, the Revenant Krafts Panther. Now basically I think I got a little bit bored of just playing Tier 10s and with all the aviaries etc, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different. And basically I thought, you know what, I've never played this Krafts Panther. It's been sat in my garage for a long time, never had any love. And I thought, let's just try and free market and, you know, change up pace, do something a little bit different. So, on my way to do this free mark, you know, eventually I'll probably get another video with a free mark in it. But I've got two replays to show you. And the first one, we're on Nominam, or however you call it. We are top tier, it is encounter, and there's one enemy light tank and one enemy fun police. Now, to be honest with you, this Krafts Panther, it's not a great premium. There's far better tier 7 premiums out there than this tank. It's got 150 alpha, very quick rate of fire gun. But with that 150 alpha, you kind of have to get a lot of pens in order to get some good damage out of the tank. It does have armour on the tank. But that armour, you know, it's only really, you know, effective against the lower tier tanks. When you start playing against the tier 8s and tier 9s, your armour's not really going to count up or hold up for much. But against the lower tier tanks, it can be effective. So we're pushed here early doors, trying to spot the cross, see if we can kill any tanks on there defending their base. But straight away, I see a dreadnought. You know, I think 2 dreadnoughts pushed down there, and I don't want to be fighting that. You know, that is not a good engagement for me to be battling. Very, very dangerous tank when it is top tier. You know, with 750 alpha, it could ruin my game very quickly. So I decided that I'm going to push a different position, see if I can get different shots and angles into the dreadnoughts and try and deal with them. As that happens, I spot an enemy light tank on the opposite ridge, get a couple of shots in, but he does get away before we're able to finish them. But at least now they're probably going to think twice about poking that ridge, where I will have shots on them. And I'm going to try and play this side of the ridge. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, this tank, over the side. Trying to get some early nice damage here. This TD caught in the open. Didn't really have time to get shots into track, but now I've got to be very careful because you can see as I poke, I'm going to get shot by that heavy tank there directly in front. So I'm trying to change the angle a little bit to try and shield me from that tank, and now try and deal with this enemy KV1, which is just 3 farms for me at the moment. The Krafts Panther there on the right is a bit of a problem because he's going to start shooting me now, which is going to mean it's a little bit more awkward and I can't quite farm that tank, heavy tank, without taking damage. So that's going to make it a little bit awkward. But it looked like the Krafts Panther was, you know, moving out of position, so I'm going to go for another shot onto his heavy tank. Unfortunately for me, the heavy tank has now moved you know, out of position, so I'm going to try and slap a couple of shots, you know, slap or tickle a few shots into this dreadnought. But now the Krafts Panther has sort of realised, and he's having more shots at me. And we're starting to go down on tanks now, so it's not a great start of the battle for our team, but we have managed to get a little bit of damage in, a little bit of assistance. And we thought, well, yeah, we'll see if we can get a different angle of approach. And unfortunately, this is not going to work for me, as you can see. We look for a few shots in the Tiger, but we start getting shot at by some tanks which are in the background, and actually one damages my ammo rack, and I'm just not going to have the vision to push over there. So I need to see, you know, I'm just checking the hit points of enemy tanks. I'm going to try and find another angle of attack, see if I can get into the middle ground and shoot these dreadnoughts into the side, try and help out our enemy team, which seems to be a little bit stuck there. But as that happens, an enemy medium tank, tier 60 medium tank, comes out at the wrong angle. I'll give him a little ram, because he does have, you know, fairly good weight as for a tier 7 medium, and you can sort of ram a few tanks. We managed to take him out with the help of our friendly fun police, but we are now, you know, on 600 hit points. We're half health and we are ammo racked at the moment, so we need to wait until we can use our repair kit, which we actually can use now, and I don't know why I'm doing it. We've not used it because I'm kind of slowing down my DPM. Obviously I haven't realised that it's come off of reload. But now at least the scores, it's 7 versus 9. I hope we should be able to take out one shot. And now it's back to a 7 versus 7, and it's, you know, a little bit more evened up. Less tanks in the game. It's got less angles. I might be able to try and work different areas of approach. I'm not going to be able to poke there. Got to be very careful because the enemy dreadnought there, although he's a one shot to us, you know, could also one shot us and still do a lot of damage while he's on that low hit point. So we do really, if we can, want to find a way to take out this enemy dreadnought, take out a dangerous tank from the game. Had a decent game now. We've got 2,000 damage, close to 1,000 resistance in the kill, but there's still a lot more, damage to potentially be had. So I'm looking to see if we can find any angles. We see this heavy tank from the start is now starting to cross, but then this dreadnought gets crossed up, crossed up in the middle, and thankfully we're able to take out that dreadnought there. I'm looking to see now if I can try and change my angle approach again to see if I can get any shots at this enemy Krafts Panther, using this ridge in front of me to potentially keep me safe from the enemy fun police. But yeah, it's not quite working. I haven't quite got the angle, and this enemy Krafts Panther is full health. I'm now getting targeted by the fun police, so I was going to go for the middle ground and just try and take out the Krafts Panther. I'm not going to do that now because the fun police is going to constantly shoot at me. Then this enemy tiger from the start comes out. It is a stock tiger, so I can just go straight through the turret without out a problem. My friendly tanks on the hill are actually getting shots in as well, and between me and my team, we've managed to take out that tank pretty quickly. Fun police is still looking at me, so I need to get out of dodge as quickly as possible. And now I'm thinking I'm just going to push and see if I can take out that fun police who is just going to continue shooting at me if we're not able to deal with them. And yeah, that's my plan at the moment. I'm going to see if I can try and get round, because from where the shells are firing at us from, we pretty much know where the fun police is. Unless they've relocated, they're going to be in around about this corner somewhere. We can see that from where the shots are coming from. As we approach, we get spotted by a tier 5 tank. Now this is where the armour can be effective when you're fighting those lower tier tanks. So say when you're fighting the tier 8s, tier 9s, your armour's really going to do nothing for you. But against tiers like this, you can use the armour, and that's why I'm just full sending in, try and get as close as I can, kill the tank as quickly as I can, and then I can move on. Because while I'm in the open here, I don't know if the other tanks are going to come back from the other side. I don't know where they are. I need to deal with this tank fast. So that's why I'm trying to full send around this corner. But as I go round, make a bit of a mistake, because I do go around there very quickly. I didn't check it out first. The fun police was waiting for me, slaps me, and I lose half my hit points which I had. I'm now down to 300 hit points, which is far from ideal, but I'm just going to push round and try and deal with these two tanks. As you say, the lower tier tank, I can block a few tanks in. I'm going to keep focusing on the fun police until he's dead, and now I'm going to turn my attention to this tier 5 tank, and hopefully I should be able to take him out. I don't really want to eat another shot, but I do take them out, picking up another kill, putting us onto 5 kills, putting us onto close to 4,000 damage, which when you've got a 150 alpha, it's pretty good going. There is an enemy E25 left, which I've not spotted. Now that is a very dangerous tank at top tier, because he's going to outspot me. He's going to delete me very, very quickly with that rate of fire gun they have, and I don't want to get caught out in the open against that tank without supporting my team. But unfortunately for me, he has come all the way back to deal with me. I don't want to just be running. He's just going to farm me, so I decided I'm just going to go for the ram. I go straight in for the ram, and yeah, I didn't only have enough hit points to do the ram, but I did pretty much take away all of his hit points, putting him onto a one-shot. So I still think it was worth it. I'm just hoping my team now are going to be able to do the business without me. It is a one-shot E25, which can be a very dangerous tank, but I'm not going to make you watch all of this because it goes on for quite a while. But I'm going to fast forward it, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so we do manage to get the victory in the end. Let's just get to the scoreboard to see how we got on. We got 5 kills, 4,600 damage, 900 assistance. We get the ace tanker and the high caliber, which brings us an end to replay number 1. But one final replay to come, so I will see you over there in a little bit. Okay, so on to the final replay on Ghost Town. We are actually, it's a tier 8 lobby. There's 2 enemy fun police and I think 3 enemy light tanks. Now I do actually really enjoy playing Ghost Town. It's actually a map I quite like. There's lots of different angles where you can keep rotating, catching people off guard. And it's a map I actually, yeah, I genuinely quite enjoy playing Ghost Town. So at the start, I'm going to do what I normally do at the start of Ghost Town. Let's push this position here, because what quite often happens is enemy light tanks full send down the 1-2 line, and you can try and catch them off guard while they try and escape, just like this light tank is here. Full send it down. We've got 2 shots into them. We're going to keep pushing because he's either on reload or he's not paying his attention to me because he's trying to get out of there. We get another one in, put him onto half hit points, just looking to see if he crosses and we get a shot in. But it hasn't happened, and the enemy hasn't pushed a lot of tanks down here, or at least it doesn't seem that way at the moment. Enemy fun police is now targeting me, so I want to get close to this building to keep me safe. Lose our spot before we move on to try and go to my secondary location if the enemy team hasn't all full sent down, and that's to try and get cross shots in this location. Just going to make sure there's nothing coming on my left before I do so. Now I should have side shots on tanks like this Tiger P is sort of pushed a little bit too far. We try and track them in place. We don't manage to do so. Do get a couple of shots in. Miss that shot because I was silly. But we do get another shot into the turret of that medium. And now we're going to back up, because the problem is I'm looking for shots here, but the second they start paying attention to me, it's a little bit awkward, because some of these tanks, if I'm in a trade-off fight, then I've got to pen them at least 2 times, even 3 times in some cases, and they've only got to pen me 1, so I don't want to really be in that brawl. And the Tiger is pushing in the open, which is 3 damage for me at the moment, so I'm going to make sure we deal with this Tiger P first. We get 1 shot in, and then we just manage to squeeze in the kill there. Put us onto 1,000 damage. We haven't lost any hit points. Decent start to this game. The enemy fun police were spotted. I was trying to get a few shots in, but the Tiger 2 is now there as well. That's an awkward engagement. I don't want to be trading with a Tiger 2. So I'm going to leave that now and go back, see if the enemy team have forgotten about me, and see if I can get any more shots in. We get 1 into that 110, who is now fully aware that I'm there. Again, I don't really want to be in a trading fight here, so I've decided, what, our team have now pushed up in towards the enemy base. That gives me a little bit of freedom to try and move around and try and attack again from a different sort of angle. We look for a shot into the enemy fun place, which doesn't quite pay off for us. Now they've got round the corner, they're safe. I'm not going to full send in the open to kill them, because I'm just going to get side shot. But that does mean I can now try and find a different approach, different angle, keep moving around. That's why I quite like this map. There's lots of sort of scenarios where you can do that. Now trying to deal with this enemy tier 8 light tank. He gets back around the corner safe, but I do have shots into the rear of this enemy Tiger P and also into this charioteer. We get 1 shot into charioteer. We're looking to see if we can squeeze any more shots in. Again, I don't really want to eat a shot of that charioteer, so I'll decide I'm going to try and push up and see if I can get any shots from a different way. But then I'm getting targeted here, and it is because the enemy Vanguard has got behind us. Now the enemy Vanguard they're one of the tanks which, apart from the fun police, they're just vermin. Just the play style of the Vanguard, they just full send round. And in a lobby like this where he is top tier, when the tanks start to your numbers start to dwindle a little bit, they can be very, very dangerous. So as we pull back round, 110's trying to escape. We've got shots into the rear. We're hoping we might load just to take the tank out. We don't, but he does get taken out by our friendly tank. We then push to try and deal with this enemy light tank, because if he pushes now, there's a 2-shot. We could take them out. It's a fairly even game at this point. The enemy light tank does get taken out. Now it is a 7v7, but the enemy Vanguard, who pushed all the way around to our base, I don't want to leave that tank there, because he's going to be harassing our fun police, harassing our heavy tank in the base. All that time he's doing that, my tanks aren't in the fight, and I want to go and try and help deal with this Vanguard, because I've just seen he's just emptied his clip into these into our friendly fun police. I know that is on reload for around about 30 seconds or so now, so I want to use this time to close my distance and try and deal with this tank, take out the Vanguard. Then we don't have to worry about it. Freeze up our tanks in the base, and then we can continue, dealing with the other tanks without having something in our back line. We get one in. He's trying to escape. Unfortunately, that shot doesn't pen, only does track damage, which is unfortunate. It looks like he's going to full send our friendly fun police, and he may actually pick up a kill here. We want to take care of this Vanguard, because now we know, they're on reload. Well, he has to reload now. He does get a pen in, but thankfully for my team, thankfully for me, it gets tracked by our friendly heavy tank, and we give him a little love tap, and that tank gets taken out, putting us onto 2,500 damage, 100 assistance, trying to evade the fun police shots and get back into the fight. Still very, very close. We've still got 700 hit points, or close to 800 hit points. But there is some dangerous top tier tanks left, like that Tiger 2. Could be very awkward if in a 1v1 fight. They're going to win if I'm in a brawl like that. So I need to try and get help from my teammates, really. Unfortunately, the heavy tank, the Italian heavy tank that killed the Vanguard, is a one shot, which is not ideal. But at least if it's coming with me, there's more guns. It's going to be helpful. My teammate do seem to be moving with me, which is good. So I'm trying to find an angle of attack. I'm thinking at this point, do I try and take out the fun police? And now I've just seen that shot get fired, and I know the fun police from that angle, they're not going to be in cover. I poke around and both of them are not in cover, so I think, yes, I can actually farm these tanks then. But then I spot the Tiger 2 covering them. That's going to be, if I poke there, I'm going to get shot by the Tiger 2, maybe even tracked, then get shot by the fun police. It's not worth the risk at this stage of the game, so I'm going to try and find a different angle, see if I can shoot them from anywhere else. We poke around, we get shot into the Tiger 2. Frankly for us, the Tiger 2 ricochets us, and we track them in place, so we pick up a little bit more track assistance damage. Now the Tiger 2's focused on our other tanks. I'm going to go around again and see if now I might be able to shoot these fun police now, because if they're still in that location, they're not going to be safe. So as I do that, enemy fun police missed a shot. I do have the wreck of this heavy tank to try and protect me somewhat, and we get 2 shots in, but the Tiger 2 is now forced to actually engage. I need to help my friendly tank out. He's going to come around, he shoots, he does take them out, but I can get 2 shots into the Tiger 2's 1. So now I'm happy to eat a shot. If he stays there, I'm going to kill them. I track them in place. We do eat the 1 shot, but we should be able to finish off the Tiger 2 before he can fire again. Putting this on to just shy of 4,000 damage and 2 kills, and now it's only 1 enemy medium tank left and 2 enemy fun police to deal with, and we still have 4 tanks. So this game is looking in our favour a lot more now. We've done the hard part. We just need to try and deal with the fun police. We track this one in place, and now hopefully we can be able to finish him off. It gets taken out by our Tiger, but the other artillery is not safe at the moment. So we get a couple of shots in. We're hoping to try and get a couple more in before he can get into cover. We do get one in. We have the kill shot, but unfortunately Jesus says no. So we're going to have to try and poke and get another shot in. Thankfully, the fun police doesn't pen us there. And now it's just the time to deal with this eagle. We high roll the first shot, and then we pick up the kill, bringing us an end to the video. So let's just see how we got on. We managed to pick up 4 kills, 4,000, or just shy of 4,700 damage, 400 assistance, 37 pens. So that is a really decent game for the Krafts Panther. I'm going to say this tank isn't actually that great. I haven't hated it. It's okay. It's okay is what I'd say about it. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. But yeah, that is it for the video. So again, thank you so much for watching, and happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!